I'm changing the shape of the blade here to make it thinner. So I marked off the blade and I'm going to sand it down and make it thinner because this sword is 1 kilo, 1,000 grams, and it's starting to get a little bit still too heavy for my size to handle. And I want it to be a faster blade. One of the solution is that I take some of the weight off of the blade by making the blade thinner. You will see that I have taken off that much blade. If you look at the original, it's balanced way over here. Without the weights at the end, I'm looking at almost 2 7/8 inches away from the blade. Now, this being such a heavy sword, it has to be balanced. So now that without the weights at the end, when I've made this blade more streamlined, it's already balancing a lot closer. Instead of 2 7/8, this is like 2 3/4 already. So it's gotten a lot better once I put these weights at the end. This would become a much better sword. So, by far, I am the worst welder in the world. For some reason, I don't know how to weld. I have a welder, and one of the things is it's a MIG welder, but I don't have the MIG gas because it's too expensive. So it's going to have a lot of spit and splatter. And second, I'm welding two different type of metal together. This is a softer metal. It's just some crappy metal you get at your hardware store, and different thickness. And this is a stainless steel with the high carbon content, and it's a different thickness. So this kind of want to melt first, and then this doesn't melt as much. So plus I don't know how to weld, but anyway, I don't really care. I mean, all this I am going to grind and sand off so that it will look nice and shiny. But anyway, all this will be wrapped in tennis racket handle tape anyway, so none of this will be visible. Therefore, I don't really care. I kind of spot welded everything. It's not welded all the way. One of the reasons why I don't want to weld all the way is I don't want to put too much more extra weight on it. Because the problem I'm having with these swords are that they are getting too heavy. So if I weld too much, it's going to add extra weight. The other thing is that it might just melt some of these metal off as I'm welding. So I've mostly kind of spot welded, not welding all the way through. For some reason, like I said, when these two pairs were fabricated, weighing them on the scale, this one originally came out to 852 grams, and this one came out to 798 grams. This one is a whole 54 grams heavier, this one. And I don't know why, because when I put this on top of the other one, it kind of looked exactly the same. They didn't cut it any differently. And I looked at it this way, and it appears, even if you look at it now, it appears that this is ever so slightly thicker, but really not that much. It's very little, just thicker by just a smidgen. But I have no idea why this sword is that much heavier than this one. So what the problem is that I don't want to have two swords that are that far off, because these are twin swords. So like I've shown you here, if you look here, you would see that I actually have three pieces of metal welded together, whereas this one has only two pieces of metal, and there's no metal in between here. So hopefully this will help the two swords to be closer in weight. However, this one here with only two pieces of metal, it will balance a little bit further out. It will balance around here. And this one, which has three pieces of metal, will balance a little bit better. And this one seems to balance a little bit more here. So here it is, after a lot of sanding and grinding. Here is the, I would call this finished. Like I said, I'm going to just wrap all of this up in some kind of tape, and none of this will be visible. So I really don't need to, re-weld this and make it super perfect and clean. I don't really care. It's for function. This is going to be all hidden. Here's the other side of this. And then this is this one here. That would be good enough. As long as when I wrap the tape over, that it's not really going to have any abnormal bumps that's going to come up. It's smooth enough. So I was at the store and looking for tennis tape, tennis handle tape, and apparently they are like really ridiculously priced. Was $11.99. In other words, $12 for one pack of tape, and one pack of tape was only long enough to tape a tennis racket, which is a handle would be only this long, which isn't enough. Because I need to wrap from here to here and around. So I probably need at least 3 packs, which will come out to be about $36 plus tax. You're looking at like $40 for like 3 packs of tape. That was ridiculous. So I got this here, which is a wrap for your wrist, and it was only $12.99 for 2 rolls like this, which would be enough for this to wrap around. And then I bought another hockey tape for $4.99, and that's just to close up the end so that the tape wouldn't come loose. And I think that should do it. And this should look like new. Oh my God, it's finally done. Um, I'm really happy because this took over a year. It took several months to design it, cut it out of cardboard, try 100 different designs. Once it was good on cardboard, I then sent it to Everything Wing Chun, and they had made it, but they were backlogged, so his supply is from India, but it took at least 4 months, 5 months, something like that. I don't remember. It was a hell of a wait. When I got it, I was really happy, but I then have the task of balancing them, and I didn't know how I should balance it. So I left it on the back burner and just thought about it over, I think, maybe a year ago when I got these. And now I finally decided how I'm going to balance it, and it's balanced. I put the wrap on. The wrap works out really, really nice, and I'm really happy with these Bart Cham Dao now. They look really, really good. And here is what they look like. And here they are. And here's the test. And this one officially weighs in at 1,006 grams. That's just over 1 kilo or 2.2 pounds. This one is 998. So they're off by 8 grams. I'm pretty happy with it. And balance is right here. This one balances right there, which comes out to be just a little bit, just from here to here, it's just over 1.5 inch, just a smidgen over 1.5 inch. So these are really, really nice. I'm really happy with them. And I hope you find this interesting, and have a nice day.